What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt from Matt Videos. Today we are here at Bentonville Battleground here outside of Smithfield and Four Oaks, North Carolina. We're going to talk about the Battle of Bentonville. We're literally sitting in the middle of a field right next to the actual visitor center, and then behind me are some graves and plaques and monuments. But first and foremost, we're going to take you a little tour. But on top of all that, let me give you a little insight about this. The Battle of Bentonville was fought on March 19th through March the 20th, 1st of 1865. This was the last major offensive battle for the Confederate Army in the Carolinas. There was about 2,600 casualties for the Confederate Army. There was about 1,500 casualties for the Union Army. Ultimately, William Sherman's army was marching through and surprise attack. The Union actually won the Battle of Bentonville, but we're here in the state of North Carolina, so it's Confederate land. As you've seen in some of my prior videos, there is, of course, the Fort Macon, which was a Civil War fort used for other wars and everything. Nothing is similar because it's part of the Civil War, but it's not part of the same war and everything. Major battles all over. The Battle of Bentonville was actually considered a major battle. It was one of the last battles of the Civil War, other than the last battle, which was up in Appomattox, Virginia, where the actual peace treaty from General Lee and General Grant, later on known as President Grant, signed at the courthouse, at the old courthouse on the historical park. I'm actually walking on one of the trails here in the tree lines on this 6,000 acre battlefield, which technically you can actually walk 150 of the 6,000 acres, because it's 6,000 acres. The battlefield went for 7.8 square miles. It's one of the biggest, other than Gettysburg, which considered of the whole entire town, and then you had all the fields around the town, and that was considered the bloodiest battle there was in all of the Civil War. I'm not saying that any of the other battles were not bloody, because this was the bloodiest war that the United States has ever seen or ever been part of, because it was a battle between the Union and the Confederates of the United States. So every soldier was an American citizen, was American. So this is the bloodiest battle and war in American history. I'm standing in the middle of a circle of an area, which was technically a camp. There's a road, there's a path right here in the middle you can walk through, and on this trail. And this is actually where a camp would have been, most likely going to be Confederate. The Union would have probably been down the path a little bit, down that way, or all over there. But like I said, 6,000 acres, they could have been anywhere. Both parties, both sides could have been really anywhere. But we're gonna walk down the path a little bit and see what we can find, and hopefully y'all enjoy. If y'all would like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more upcoming videos. And if not, you can check my older videos, and do the same. There's a whole lot more content coming, and I hope y'all enjoy. We're walking down. As we walk down the trail, this is exactly what you would have seen back in 1865 when this battle was taking place. Surrounded by gunfire, black powder smoke, everything. And now it's a walking trail with a whole lot of artifacts. And you can always tell where you're at because of your tree markers with the color. There's a map of the tour it's a self-guided tour. You can get from the actual visitor center, which we will walk by a little later. But right now we're just going to go back here, as I believe there were some bunkers that are down this path, if I remember correctly. And we're just exploring. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of bloodshed. A lot of very, very eerie and interesting feelings that I'm getting right now, because, like I said, there was almost 4,000 casualties total here within 3 days. Not many deaths, a whole lot of injuries, a whole lot of captures, about 500 deaths, like severe deaths. But when you ever have 4,000 casualties, something has to happen. This was camp life. Like I said, around here, anywhere throughout here, of course the brush and the undergrowth is up, so you could have had camp over here, you could over there, all over. But you can pause if you want to read it. But this right here is talking about the camp life and what the Union and the Confederates would have dealt with here in Bentonville. They got the signs, because the visitor center is right behind us. Where the big building out there in the middle of the field where we started at. Back here, I mean, the trail keeps going on and on and on, and there's several trails throughout here and several stop points. Bunkers over here would have probably been one regiment, and then you have, was it a mile or so down the road, there's a couple more areas where bunkers would have been. People down here walking around. It's we're in the middle of April, and it feels really, really nice. Sun's out, so it's a nice time to get out there and explore. You can see his circle, and it keeps going that way, and right throughout here would have been the bunkers. You can see if you can see parsley in the trees right over there. You can see the ups and downs, and that's technically where everything is. But now, whenever you're just walking around, it looks normal because of the erosion and just how the land has taken it back over from what they did. But that's where we were in that circle. That was a major camp area, and that's exactly what it would have looked like. Now, the grounds crew here, and then the Park Service has made sure that has stayed there, so to give you an idea of how big a camp would have been. We're back out here in the field where we began. I want to take you over to the monuments so you can see where everything is, what's out here. Like I said, there's almost 8 square miles of battlefield, and every inch of this facility of these 6,000 acres was used during this battle. You're out here in the middle of the country, and if you're not familiar with, well, most of you are probably not familiar with the area, but the area is literally farmland around. This is a prime location for open area, open fight, a little bit of everything. But if you go back way before the Civil War even got here, this was Native American land. One clan and one actual group in particular, and that was the Tuscaroran people. Now there's stories, a whole bunch of stories about the Tuscaroran people, and they were not so friendly, should I say. They loved their land, and they loved war. They were actually a tribe of war, and they were a group of natives about war. I'm an Eagle Scout. I'm a Boy Scout, and then growing up, I always came to this camp, and the camp is right in that direction, for approximately 3-4 miles away. And the name of the camp is Camp Tuscarora. Now, I have a blog that I wrote about Camp Tuscarora and through my eyes and what you would have seen coming into the gates. Now, it's true, it's real. Everything you see in that blog was exactly what you saw when you walked through the gate. Now, we had to do a hike from Camp T to here, part of a group and a part of the actual task we had to do, and that was very interesting because we had to walk all throughout this land and out throughout here. Now, so if you wanted to know where Bentonville battlefield is, you can always type in Camp Tuscarora and it'll take you to Camp Tuscarora, but Camp Tuscarora is technically in Bentonville in a way. Four Oaks in Smithfield, North Carolina, right here in the middle of Johnson County. We're actually in the southern portion of Johnson County, and so that gives you another idea. But we're out here at a old cemetery. So, and because there's Confederate markers over there, unknown Confederate soldiers who probably were mutilated and you couldn't really tell or identify who they were. And then you had a family cemetery right here. First I want to talk about the family cemetery. This is the cemetery of the Harper family. What's significant about the Harper family is where we're going to go after we leave this area right here. Amy Harper and John Harper. These two right here are the main characters in this cemetery because these are the Patreons. These are the main guys. You have John Sr., John Sr. and John Jr., and then you have another John here. Now, as you can tell, Harper. There's a barber right there. Here, this is all the Harper family cemetery. Look at the dates on this one: 1909, 1918. How about 1897, 1900? We are in Civil War era because these two, Amy and John, are the reasons why the next building that we're going to go to is significant. Now, if you walk over here, you have a whole row, and I repeat, a whole row of unknown Confederate soldiers. Let's go around this tree. All died of wounds here at the battle in 1865. Every one of them. There's another couple of graves over there. I think they're newer. Over here is 4. These 4 are also unknown Confederate soldiers. It's telling that you have all of them soldiers plus these 4 buried here, because this is technically Confederate land. There's this monument here that's is a memorial to all the people who died here, both sides of the party, both sides of everything. I took pictures so you can see what, or stop and read at a better angle, and they will be in the video. You keep going down, this is what you'll see. It's on Harper House Road and Mill Creek Church Road. The corner over there is the visitor center, and that white house over there, that is called the Harper House, which is Harper House Road. That's Harper House. We'll go over there in a minute because there's a whole lot of backstory behind that house. Now, like I said, there's 6,000 acres here, and we're only limited to about 150 of them. It's all farmland. A lot of people around here own these lands, but 6,000 acres owned by the state, owned by the country. There's plaques here in memory of the Union soldiers of the 14th, 15th, 17th, and 20th Corps who served during the Battle of Bentonville, March 19th to the 21st of 1865. Behind me is the plaque. I just technically read it off of it. Representative of the states, all right there. This plaque right here has one state, Texas. I'm not gonna be able to read all of that to you, but there's a picture, so you can read it if you can make it out. It's a weird pink color and dark black writing. Over here is the continuance to the other side. Very more. I mean, literally very. I don't know the words. I can't even bring the words to my mouth to actually talk about it, because it's actually very moving that they're putting a memorial to everybody who fought here. There's a pit, and then this one. This looks like a crypt. I took pictures of the engravements, so we're all good. You can read that. This is for North Carolina. North Carolina soldiers who fought and died so courageously here. So far, it's very emotional, because you know how many people died here. You know how long this fight was. This is not the longest fight. This is definitely not the longest battle. It's a lot of history. So it's something to check out. You can get, and the land over here is just, it's mass. It's vast and a whole lot to see. And I can only show you a little bit. Come see it for yourself. It's free. You can walk around. The gates close at 5. Now this only thing is Harper House. You can usually walk in there, but right now I'm not 100% sure if it's open. If it is open, I'll give you a tour. I found a map of the whole entire tour, the driving tour. We are sitting right here. Harper House is right there also, and as you can tell, that's the visitor center, and that's Harper House. We will be taking a tour of Harper House, but I'm going to give you this so you can see the map. And of course, here's the numbers. They're all throughout. Camp Tuscarora is over there. That's where I was talking about earlier. Look how close we are. I mean, all of this was literally the battlefield. So like I said, there's opportunities to see everything. Come check it out for yourself. We're here at the Harper House. I'm going to give you a tour on the outside and tell you more about it. But you're gonna hear a whole lot more about it because we're going on a tour in a little bit. We'll tour the inside. So I can tell you what I know. The historian's gonna probably tell you a whole lot more. If she's okay. But you see that window right there? A whole lot of dead bodies came from that window to about right there, as you can tell, of where the grass is not going. But this was John and Amy's house before and after the war. John and Amy Harper are the patrons from that cemetery a while ago. This was technically a hospital. As you can imagine how many lives were lost in there, or how many people actually had to go in there for medical treatment, amputations, because of the injuries of the war and everything. Now, it's not a big house. And you can imagine how many people actually were crammed in there. How many soldiers from both Confederate and Union were crammed in there just to try to be saved, if they could be saved. It's very touchy. It's very interesting. But as you can tell, that's Harper House. Stay tuned. And so, excuse me. So hopefully that shows us some light about everything. What we're going to find out together. I've never been in there. I've always heard stories. I've heard the tales, and I kind of know because of that window right there on the back. That was technically the surgery room, the operating room. Well, that's the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and hit that bell for the next upcoming videos, so you don't miss out. The Harper House, mysterious, owned by, to me, the pictures of John and Amy Harper actually resemble the two people in American Gothic. That famous picture of the man and woman holding the pitchfork. To me, that's what it resembles. But of course, it's a hospital. It was their house, but now it was a hospital during the war. Don't take my word for it. Come out here, explore for yourself. It's a whole lot of history that is here to just learn about. Self-guided tours, phone. You can use your cell phone. But until next time, stay adventurous. Keep on exploring.